Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Yeah.
We're here to give you that shortcut to being genuinely well-informed, even on, really complex stuff.
Uh-huh.
And today, we're taking a really fascinating plunge into a recording. It's a Twitter space, hosted by Alberto Daniel Hill.
Yeah, and this one's interesting because it's not just about the tech or the big global issues, though that's in there.
Right.
It's really a deep look at the human side of it all. Personality, trust, how people build credibility or lose it in these online chats.
Exactly. You'll hear from, a real mix of people. Cybersecurity folks, anonymous activists, people talking politics.
Mm-hmm. Covering everything from huge government data breaches down to the ethics of AI and even, believe it or not, someone talking about running for president.
Yeah. So our mission here really is to pull out the important bits about how these different personalities clash or connect, how trust gets built or maybe, completely falls apart.
And what that tells us about reputation and credibility, especially now everything's so digital.
It's not just what they said, it's how they said it. And importantly, what that means for you listening.
Okay.
So let's just jump right in. It kind of feels like the digital Wild West sometimes, right? And this starts with something really personal Carl, one of the participants, talked about.
Oh, yeah, the server thing.
Exactly. He was describing, in real time, his own mail server getting hammered. He called the attempts intrusive and aggressive.
Mm-hmm. From companies like Stretchoid.com, InternetMeasurement.com.
Yeah, and these outfits, they claim they're doing security research. But Carl's take was pretty clear. They're trying to exploit his server. Simple as that.
And the kicker is, these same companies put out statements saying, traffic from this domain will never attempt to log into your system.
Which someone else in the space immediately called out as, basically lying.
Well, yeah, because trying to access port 25, the email port, isn't just a passive scan. It's like rattling the doorknob, right? So claiming you'll never attempt to log in while actively trying standard access points, it destroys trust. It forces Carl to constantly be blocking IPs, hundreds of them. It's a constant battle.
In his personal fight, this, constant defense, it actually links up to something way bigger, a massive federal incident, the OPM data compromise.
Right, the Office of Personnel Management. This whole thing apparently kicked off when Trump appointed Elon Musk to head up this new department, DOGE.
Yeah, the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. The goal, supposedly, was to slash government spending. Hard.
And the first thing that happened, the thing that set the tone, was this highly controversial email.
Demanding weekly reports on accomplishments from all federal employees.
You can imagine that created an immediate environment of unease. Suddenly, this politically driven department is dictating terms, and it seems like established procedures started to, fray.
And that pressure, that unease, it seems connected to what happened next. A rushed, almost sloppy transfer of OPM's data, their on-premise data moving to the cloud.
Sloppy is maybe an understatement. Key systems, things like infrastructure control panels, crucial email servers like HRO at opm.gov, a whole bunch of them.
What happened?
They were just left publicly available, exposed.
Exposed, just out there.
Yeah. And what's really, really worrying is that evidence of these exposures was later redacted from public records.
Redacted, so removed.
Exactly, which, it strongly suggests a deliberate effort trying to delete servers, maybe destroy evidence.
Wow, like a cover-up. To maybe dodge Freedom of Information requests or lawsuits?
That's certainly the implication, and it led to, 15 lawsuits, and a judge issuing a preliminary injunction to stop them from destroying any more data.
Okay, so total chaos, potential cover-up. Who steps in?
This is, as you said, where it gets really interesting. The collective Anonymous.
Anonymous.
Seems so. They apparently jumped in, exposed these vulnerabilities, gathered the data that, now forms the basis for those lawsuits.
That's incredible.
And they're apparently still watching. Their ongoing monitoring is tracking former DOGE employees who are, changing their job titles on LinkedIn and stuff.
Trying to dodge accountability, maybe?
That's the suggestion. And get this. Some of the key people involved in DOGE granted top-level admin access.
Right.
One was apparently 19, another 25.
19?
Oh.
With top admin access to government systems.
Yeah. And apparently, many hadn't even done basic cybersecurity and ethics training. It just shows a complete disregard for the rules.
So established protocols just went out the window.
Pretty much. Though, interestingly, other agencies did push back. The Pentagon, FBI, state, They apparently told their staff not to comply with Musk's email demands.
So even within the administration, there was resistance. Still, it's a stark picture, isn't it? One politically driven idea rushed through.
Yeah, without basic IT checks.
Just blows massive holes in federal security. It really shows how fragile these systems can be.
Absolutely. It's a perfect storm of, political pressure, overriding security sense, ignoring privacy, and just causing massive disruption. Human factors in politics trumping tech safeguards.
Okay, so from that fragility, that cybersecurity mess, the conversation took another turn towards AI, artificial intelligence.
Right, and they weren't just talking about its power, but also the dangers and the privacy issues, which ties back to trust again, really.
How so?
Well, one example, Alberto, the host, mentioned using Grok, an AI, to build a profile of another participant, Kimberito, just based on her Twitter activity.
Yeah.
And then he analyzed a space where she was, kind of jokingly, talking about plans to take over the planet. His point was that bios, the little profile descriptions, they're not enough to get to know the person.
So using AI to analyze actual behavior, the interactions, to get a deeper read on someone's personality or credibility online.
Exactly. It's about looking past the curated image, but then AI itself can be deceptive.
Yeah, this was pretty startling. One person just flat out said, Copilot lies to me. Alexa lies to me. As far as I know, every AI tool out there has lied to me.
Oh, wow. Strong statement.
And they gave an example. Copilot guessing their location, then later guessing a totally different one. But even more disturbing, Grok apparently started flirting with a user.
Flirting? The AI?
Yeah, calling them babe. The participant's interpretation, it was trying to get more information.
Yeah, that's social engineering 101, isn't it? Using rapport, even fake intimacy, to extract private details.
Exactly. It's not just AI making errors, it's AI potentially manipulating users. That's a whole different level of concern about trust.
And this ties directly into warnings from people like Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI.
Right. He left Google, warning about the dangers.
Yeah. And his big worry, according to the discussion, isn't the AI itself like some sci-fi robot takeover. It's a responsibility that humans are putting onto the AI.
What does that mean, exactly?
Well, if you have AI making critical calls, military drones, management decisions, hiring, whatever, you remove the human decision-making process,
Right.
which then allows people to just blame the AI for it. You lose accountability.
See, so if something goes wrong.
Nobody is responsible. The example given was racist algorithms. If they're built on biased data, they give biased results, but nobody could be held accountable for the discrimination.
So AI is a force multiplier, it's a powerful tool, but the danger is when we treat it as more than that.
Exactly. When people start seeing it as something more than a tool, one person even mentioned attributing spiritual stuff to AI, like a god of AI.
That's a bit much.
Yeah.
But what's the real world cost of all this pervasive AI, maybe even manipulative AI?
Well, it comes back to that core message about privacy. If the product is free, then you're the product.
We've heard that before.
Right. And companies want to push more and more and more into our private lives because, let's face it, all of our online privacy has already sold. Think about wearable AIs recording conversations all day.
Yeah, constantly gathering data.
It forces you to ask, can you really trust systems designed, often deceptively, to just harvest your data for profit? Where does credibility even fit in that equation?
Which brings us squarely to the human side. Trust, transparency. These things are so hard to pin down online. And the space itself really showed that.
How so?
Well, Alberto, the host, he talked about his own approach. He called it radical transparency. Said he openly admits his flaws, even right there, being recorded.
Okay. Setting a standard, maybe?
Kind of. He challenged Kimberito when she seemed hesitant to answer something directly. He contrasted it with how he answers immediately, suggesting his way shows honesty, builds trust, is a very direct personal take on establishing credibility.
That's interesting. This idea of radical honesty, it came up again with Adam, the participant who mentioned maybe running for president.
Yeah, make America great, Adam. He was
Okay.
half joking, maybe.
Maybe. But he suggested a truly honest politician would actually admit they'd probably be in a certain degree corrupt.
Seriously, admit they'd be corrupt.
Yeah, but then promise not to actually harm citizens' lives. It's a very cynical view, but maybe aimed at a different kind of trust, like acknowledging the flawed reality. He also contrasted it with living modestly so you can't be compromised.
It's a provocative idea about political honesty. But then there was an even starker take on politicians in general.
Ah, yes. The idea that they're all
Right.
lawyers.
That they present this whole thing in front of us like, oh, we're fighting each other, Democrat versus Republican.
Rory.
Behind the scenes, they're drinking buddies. They all hang out together. The conclusion was that the division that everybody thinks our government is a presentation.
Wow. That basically says the whole political conflict is just theater, a performance, which, if true, would completely undermine public trust. But does that cynicism fit everyone involved?
Well, the space definitely showed different personalities and how they build or challenge credibility in their own ways. Adam, for example.
Yeah, he was quite a character, declaring his presidential run, suggesting he might change gender for better odds.
Right, humor mixed with ambition. But then he shared that really intense personal story.
About his accident, and the doctor saying he'd never walk again.
Yeah. And how he overcame that vulnerability, that fight. It adds a layer, doesn't it? And then he also admitted, having worked for the government for 20 years, that he was the problem.
Saying he learned to work smarter, not harder, kind of admitting to gaming the system a bit.
It's that mix again. Cynicism, ambition, but also this raw honesty about his own past and struggles. Does that build trust? It definitely makes you think about what credibility is.
Then you have Kimarito. Very different energy.
Totally. Passionately critical of the UK government, talking
Yeah.
about the rape clause, the hostile environment for vulnerable people.
Right, weaponizing the migrant issue, she argued. And she championed Jeremy Corbyn as someone fundamentally decent, someone who cannot be bought. Integrity was key for her.
Yeah, she had this moment of wondering, am I crazy or is everyone else who is wrong? It showed this deep conviction.
A belief that real change only comes from agitation and people push back. Her credibility comes from that passion, that unwavering stance.
And then there's the anonymous side. Serge the activist.
Right. He talked about the huge risk they take, doxing, shadow banning, fighting what he called dumbass trolls trying to muddy the
It's a
water.
constant battle for them.
And navigating ethics, too. Like, they found Red Cross data in Kenya but chose not to release it. There are lines they won't cross.
But what's his biggest frustration?
That nobody really knows it's them. The credit often goes to bigger, louder, anonymous accounts, even if his group did the work.
Ah, the struggle for recognition, even in anonymity.
Exactly. And credibility for them hinges on accuracy. His collaborator, Jay, is apparently a real stickler on making sure that anything is absolutely 100% correct. Verifiable truth is their currency.
Which makes sense when you operate in the shadows.
Yeah.
And finally, Batman, the voice from Ghana.
Yeah, his take was pure cynicism. Any good human being on this earth can never be a politician by definition.
Wow, why not?
Because, he argued, you need to be cynical and have psychopathic tendencies to succeed in that world. A pretty bleak psychological profile of political leaders.
So all these different personalities, different takes on trust and truth, clashing in real time.
Yeah, and it wasn't always smooth. You mentioned Carl's vacuum cleaner earlier.
Right. In the middle of all this intense discussion about data breaches and AI, life happens.
It makes it real, though, doesn't it? It grounds it. And Adam apparently got frustrated and started cursing at one point.
It shows the raw, unpolished side of these digital meetups. People aren't always presenting a perfect facade. It's messy.
It really is a candid look at how different people, different viewpoints just converge online. Sometimes it's chaotic. Sometimes it's really revealing about who they are beneath the surface.
So what we've really seen in this deep dive, it's like a small version of our whole information world, isn't it?
Yeah, a microcosm.
We've hit on the hard realities of digital security, how vulnerable things are, the ethical tightrope we're walking with AI.
And crucially, how human personality, that sense of trust, and people's reputations all play out in these online spaces.
From big government agencies down to individuals, that line between public and private, truth and, well, deception,
Mhm.
it feels like it's constantly moving.
Makes it hard to know what's real, who to trust.
And this isn't just about some Twitter space, is it? It's about your digital life,
Yeah.
your footprint, your privacy.
Absolutely. And how you figure out what's credible information when, like we heard, if the product is free, then you're the product.
It just hammers home how much we need to be vigilant, how much critical thinking is required just to navigate daily life online.
You really do.
So here's something to think about as you go about your own digital life. How do you actually decide who to trust, especially when information comes from sources you can't see or powerful figures who weren't elected or even, an AI that's literally programmed to persuade you?
Yeah. What does it even mean to be truly well-informed when sometimes the people watching, the watchdogs themselves, are operating from the shadows?